How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching another video. Tonight we're going to talk about Nickelodeon's SpongeBob the Musical. Say what? I'm a SpongeBob fan. I really like the humor. Some of it is a little bit adult humor, and everybody was having a good time. They had kids of all ages. Like, they had kids who looked like they just started watching it, and then kids that had been watching it for a while, and then the parents who had to watch SpongeBob because both of their kids were watching it, and everybody really was having a great time. And I gotta tell you guys, it's very easy to take a cartoon and just overdo it and have it look super cartoony and really silly on stage, but they found that perfect balance in getting the feel and the look from the cartoon onto the stage. They really did a great job in transferring the feel and look from the cartoon onto the stage without overdoing it. For example, like all of the fonts that you see on SpongeBob where they had to say something, like they had clocks and it looked like it was in the style of SpongeBob. And if there was a humor that you got to talk about, like, sometimes how you have somebody screaming like, ah, 2 hours later, ah, 12 hours later, ah, there's a bunch of that going on. So they capture that type of humor. And the interaction between characters, like you got SpongeBob, right? Ever optimistic, who's talking to Patrick, who sometimes has no idea what SpongeBob is saying. And he's like, what? I don't know what you mean. That was there. All the snarky comments that Sandy has, the battle between Plankton and Mr. Krabs. It was really fantastic to watch those interactions. Now, the directors of this play, I think, made some interesting choices to keep kids involved and interested in watching this play. The big one I remember was the band. Now, I think the band was on stage for a total of maybe 3 scenes, and really the first time was their longest. So there was 2 guys with skateboards, and I think 1 guy with roller skates. But the first guy to come on with a skateboard, literally fully dressed in a costume, with a guitar, comes out and just nails a kickflip. Guys, I cannot tell you how crazy that is. There are so many bad things, I don't care how good you are, that can happen when you're doing a kickflip. He could have easily ate it. The skateboard could have squirted like 6 rows into the audience. He could have damaged a prop with the skateboard. He could have hurt somebody else on stage. He could have totally busted his head open. No problem. Full costume, guitar, kickflip, nailed it, bam. And in the same song, there were 2 little mini ramps. The same guy just goes up there, fakies. You're like, oh, not a big deal. Fakie's not a hard trick. In fakie, going backwards, flips up onto the coping 50-50, flips back off of it, going back the other way, does a kick flip off the side of the ramp. And I'm like, is anybody not seeing this? And it was a little bit difficult because there's a lot of singing and dancing going around. And I honestly lost track of him, but it blew my mind that he did that and he landed it. But then he comes back on the stage with 2 skateboards stacked on top of each other. He's doing a handstand on the top one. Guess what? Handstand, flip, boom, nailed it. Insane. And people were not really amazed at that. I mean, the directors could have gone anyway. They could have just got some guys that knew how to skateboard, but they went for the real deal. Now, another simple thing that I really enjoyed was the usage of simple objects to make props on stage. For example, the big one, the giant mountain of cardboard. I mean, naked cardboard, the kind you find at the UPS store that says fragile arrow up this way. Legitimately, looked like hundreds of them making this mountain in the back. They kind of had to climb up there and drop this little bubble device in, but that was one. The simple usage of pink umbrellas to be jellyfish, and the usage of pool noodles to look like seaweed kind of floating around on stage. For me, like, if I was a kid, I would be looking at that and say, hey, if they can do this with that, I wonder what I could do. One other positive before mentioning some of the negatives I've seen was the usage of black lighting. Guys, total psychedelic experience. I think there was like 5 or 6 scenes where they go dancing and everything just turns black light and the costumes just pop off the stage. It literally looked like that scene in Moana where they went under the sea to go talk to that crab. It was ridiculous. Now, on to the things that I didn't really like. The music in it was okay. The dancing was kind of so-so. And when you look at it as a whole, they really, I think, could have cut down each number by like 30 seconds or gotten rid of some of them in total. I think that would tighten up the show and make it run a lot smoother. But for the most part, it was a great experience. So guys, if you are a SpongeBob fan and this play comes rolling through your neighborhood, go give it a look. You're going to have a lot of fun. Guys, that's the ending of the video. Hope you found it useful. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Kimo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys. Laters.